Hello everybody, my name is NeoTetra and today I have the demo of Rally31, my Unity racing game that should be available on Steam very soon. This video is just going to give you a quick preview of the features in the demo, and the first thing I'd like to start with is the level. The level is a small group of islands. The base of it is 6 kilometers by 2 kilometers, so it's 6 kilometers long and 2 kilometers wide. The reason I chose to do an archipelago is because it allowed me to do a vast road network, but didn't leave lots of empty space that I then had to decorate manually because most of the level is underwater. All of the islands are fully explorable. You can get off the road. And all of these little flags here are race events. They're the start of a stage. And then you have a little house icon here. That's where your house is. And the player starts down here in the harbor. So I am just going to close the map now by pressing M, and then I will show you around with the car. So here we are with the default car. The plan is to drive up towards the player house, and I will talk a little bit about the level and the car itself. So all of the flowers and the grass are hand-drawn. The colour scheme comes from photographs of the Lake District, and the style in general comes from my love of anime and cartoon styling in general, really. The car has a cell shader, as well as Unity's principal shader, it's called, and that allows for reflections to be put over the top of the cell shader if I would like. As you can see, light is reflected on the back of the car there. The car itself makes over 1,000 horsepower and 950 newton meters of torque. That may seem a little bit powerful for a default car, but there are other cars in this game that way outclass this in terms of power and general speed. The driving style in this game, or the driving physics I should say, are very arcade. The car will slide and throw the rear end out a bit, but overall the tyres grip a little bit more than is realistic, and the way that friction is gained and lost is also quite unrealistic. This game does have downforce. This car in fact here has downforce. But downforce doesn't seem to do very much to improve grip in any way. It just holds the car to the ground, stops it from becoming airborne. This does actually help in respects of the driving experience, so I'm actually okay with the way that worked out. So that up there is the player house, and I will show you all of the cars available in the demo. So these are all of the cars featured in Rally31, but these cars here are the ones that will be featured in today's video. This is the first car I want to show off to you. It is the prop car. It does not drive the wheels, it drives the propeller that pushes the car forward. This car has a 1.5 difficulty rating, which means that when you finish a stage with this car, you get 50% extra on top of the rewards. I added this feature simply to give the player a reason to drive some of the more difficult machines, because as you can see, I am struggling with this, and I am about to crash it, and into the drink it goes. So yes, it is very difficult to drive this car, and very easy to overcut certain corners. It's very rear heavy, and only has rear brakes. So yeah, it can be quite a nuisance. It is pretty speedy though, and I think for the time period that I was set in, it would have actually been pretty quick. This is supposed to be a 1930s car. It came from the time period where this was actually something that they were experimenting with in real life. I think that was around between the 1900s and the 1930s that they were experimenting with driving cars with propellers, mostly in low grip situations. I think the Russians had a few, and I think some of them might have come from North America. I know that there was a little British one. That one's quite cool. So yeah, that is the prop car. So this is the next vehicle that I want to show you. It is the forklift. There are two main reasons that there is a forklift in the game. The first one is that I wanted forklifts to sort of act as props around the harbour. And the second one is I've always sort of wondered what a forklift would be like in like a race situation if it was modified for racing. It's a project that I would actually quite like to undertake in real life, if I ever got the opportunity to do so, is actually build a wide body race forklift. So yeah, that is one of the reasons why there is a forklift in the game. So it does have rear steering, as you can see. Currently, there is no functionality to the actual forks, which is something that I would like to upgrade. I'll just drive this one around the harbour for a bit, and then I will show you the upgraded version. As you can see, there is one on the side down there. That's because in a previous take I pushed it off the harbour. They are interactable, the ones that are just props. You just crash into them. They are rigid bodies, so they do calculate the physics. I am really burning the clutch on this thing. There we go. So yeah, I think I shall now show you, after doing a 3-point turn here, I will show you the wide body and show you that driving. Particularly as in the last video that I did on this, it was having a few issues with the RPM bouncing around and the backfire happening all the time. So I will show you that now. So this is the racing forklift. It makes 300 horsepower. It has all-wheel drive and a 6-speed gearbox. It is capable of about 140 miles an hour. And is more stable than you would have thought. It still requires quite a bit of paying attention to it. And it is still easier to crash than pretty much every other vehicle in the game. But it does actually drive reasonably well. I have put quite a bit of effort into tuning the suspension on this thing. So it does work for the purposes. You just have to be careful with it. As you can see, I'm now doing nearly 80 miles an hour. The main thing is braking, really. I would very much suggest keeping your foot planted on the accelerator while you press down on the brake initially, because it does like to spin if you just press down on the brake. As I'm about to demonstrate, yep. So this is the next vehicle I want to show you. This is the hover tank. Now I won't spend too long on this because currently it only has movement. I would very much like to actually add a firing mechanism to it, but unfortunately at the moment it only has movement, like I say. So I just figured I'd show you its off-road capability and apparently its capability to fly. And roll nearly. Okay, there we go. It's fine. And go in the sea. It can't go in the sea. Yeah, there we go. And this is the next vehicle. This is the racing hovercraft. And I figured I'd just show you how quickly it accelerates and accelerate up to this jump here and see how much air I can get. Is that 200 miles an hour? No, not quite 200 miles an hour. I was expecting 200 miles an hour of it, but not quite so. Yeah, this is the most difficult vehicle in the game to drive since it is so fast. It also doesn't really seem to like to steer at low speeds, but yeah, it is very fast. So this is the van. This is the standard model. The only reason this is in the game is for a configuration that I have, but there is one use I have found for this, and that is a budget off-road car. The normal off-road car in the game, the rally car, the Group B car, that's around 60 to 70,000 pounds, if I do remember. This is only 35, so it makes a pretty good budget off-road car, as I will demonstrate by driving this mountain. This is actually part of a course that goes along the top of the ridges. Yeah, it is pretty capable when it comes to actually off-roading. It has a very short first gear, so it is able to just crawl up the hills. And what with it being a diesel engine, it does of course make quite a lot of low-end torque. It's just not very fast. The rally car would do this a lot faster. And I figured I might as well show you the biggest jump in the game as well while I'm here, and apparently crash into a big lump of terrain. See if I can make it onto the bridge down here. don't know if this will actually be fast enough, come to think of it. Oh, it is. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It is, just barely. Is it going to land upright? Land upright? Ah, well, never mind. I'll show you the configuration for it now. And this is that configuration. It will also be the configuration that I use to finish the video and show off the race event. So this is an ice cream truck. It currently needs some finishing, basically. It needs a texture, and it could do with some additional sounds, really. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with the model of it, and I'm pretty happy with the way it behaves on the road and on the suspension system here. It is very easy to roll over, and also quite difficult to see over the top of, which both add to the challenge of driving this thing. I figured I'd take it to a nice bumpy bit of road to show you the suspension system bouncing, and see if I can actually get it some air, which I can, by jumping the gap in the road there. I won't be able to show you all of the event here, but I'll be able to show you one lap. It is normally 3 laps. But I'll end it when I finish the first one here. There's no point in showing you it over and over again. Yeah, this way is quite a bit more than the stock configuration as well, so it doesn't do quite so well on the off-road bits. I'm actually surprised I haven't rolled it yet, really. I might roll it here. Oh, nearly. There we go, and that is a lap complete. So, thank you for watching. I hope you go and check it out on Steam when it is available. Okay, now I'm just being an idiot with it. What am I? Whoa! Land it. Oh yeah. That might have to go in the video at the end.